All right, so this is hour 4 practice, and in hour 4 we're going through all of the 5 chords that we've learned and their transitions, because if we don't get the chords and the transitions down, we can't play songs. So that's what this practice will be like. So if you're watching this and you're practicing with it, we're going to try to time it at 20 minutes, and you should be able to do all of this in 20 minutes or less. And if you're doing it every day, by the time that we see you again next Tuesday, you should be ready to play songs. So take a minute and tune your guitar. So you can pause the video and take time to tune it. Okay, so if you are back and you've tuned your guitar and you're ready to go, let's take a few minutes and review our open strings, right? So from bottom up, the smallest to the fattest is E, B, G, D, A, and E. From string 6 to 1, you can do the whatever that what's it called?
Oh
yeah. Well, Eddie eats dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie.
Oh, okay. The mnemonic.
Yeah, whatever it's called. There's a word for whatever that is. I don't know. I've got memory issues, so I don't remember. But Eddie eats dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Either way, memorize what that is. So spend your time with that. That's not a part of practice. Practice begins when you start playing. So we're going to start the clock, and we're going to try to keep it at 20 minutes. I did a dry run yesterday, and it was actually 16 minutes. So we're going to start the clock, and we're off. So we're going to start with an E minor. So find your E minor, and we're going to do whole note measures. Whole note is you're strumming and you're counting for 4, because most songs that you're going to play are going to have 4 beats in a measure. Like we talked about yesterday, music needs movement, and so measures and meter help with the movement. Okay, so we're going to do whole notes, half note, and then quarter notes. So we're going to do 4 measures apiece. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Now we're going to do half notes that you're strumming on beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Now we're going to do quarter notes. We're still on E minor. Every note gets a beat. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Okay, so that's E minor. Mike's going to take us through the same thing with A suspend 2.
Okay, A suspended 2, if you remember, it's the G string and the D string, and you want to play the 5 strings. You want to mute the top string. So we're going to do whole notes first, where we hold it 1 note for 4 beats. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop.
Also notice, like we talked about in class, I have a tendency to anchor my pinky on the pick guard. Mike's not doing that. Noel had a tendency to leave his fingers on the pick guard but not anchoring. Nelson was not, but he admits when he's not thinking about it, he anchors his pinky. I do it because it helps me control whether I'm on the 6th string or the 5th string or the 4th string, depending on the chord.
Now, if you notice, also Dan is using his hand to his elbow to balance his hand, whereas I am more into holding myself upright and keeping my left leg out of the way because I had a tendency to move my elbows around to switch chords. So you want to find a comfortable position for yourself where you can transition your chords and where you can get the most of every chord you can get.
Yeah. Good job.
All right.
Half notes.
Half notes. Okay. For A. Okay. We're going to go back to A suspended 2, and we're going to do half notes. So it's going to be 1 note, 2 note.
On beat 1 and 3.
On beat 1 and 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Okay, now we're going to do quarter notes, and that's a beat with every measure for 4 measures. So we're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do it 4 times so you can get the ear of it, and we're going to do it a little slow so you can keep up with us. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you notice that when Dan and I are going in sync, Dan noticed I was starting to speed up in the first measure, and he slowed me down. So when you're listening to the music and you're hearing people playing together, you want to play at each speed so you kind of keep in harmony with each other. So Dan checks me, I check Dan, so we play together.
Yeah. Also, when he came in, I wasn't prepared, so he started playing and I didn't play at first. But he didn't stop just because I didn't come in. I just found where he was at, and
he picks up.
When we play together in a song, the same way. If you're concerned because you're late moving from a G to a C, and they're already playing, try to look ahead. If you can't catch the C, just wait for the next G chord or whatever. But don't let that be so frustrating that you just stop and you spend the whole time stressing over trying to find the one chord, and we've already moved on. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
Now, we're going to do, I guess we'll go through, I think in class what we did is we stopped there and then try to transition, but I think it's better just to go through all the chords.
Okay.
So let's do a G chord. Now, of course, we're learning it the same way. There's that sort of sweet G, but you guys haven't learned it, so just the regular G chord. And whole notes. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll do half notes. Half note measures. It's beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now quarter notes. Every beat. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Now I was thinking about what Mike said last time. It's true. This time I was wanting to speed up. And Mike was keeping a steady beat. That's why I said it's always good to tap your foot. You can't see our feet, but tapping is good. You can tap your feet. That's one way to do it. Another way is you can use a metronome. You can get metronomes on your phone. It's just a free app, and you can set it for any tempo. The higher the number, the faster it goes. The lower the tempo. Right at 60 it's like how many clicks per second. So 60 is really slow. 75 is a little bit faster, but still slow. 85 is a normal speed. 95 is normal. Some songs are 132. So you may never play as fast as they do in a YouTube video, but you can play the song at whatever speed you want to do. So you can tap your foot. Right? Right? So we can stay together if we're both hearing the tap. If you have the iPad or an Android and you have one of the apps we talked about where you can put a drum track in, the benefit of the drum track helps keep you on task. So when you play together, you notice I was speeding up this time, and through the camera I could see that he was much more consistent and slower, and so we want to play together. So a part of playing an instrument with other people is that you have to listen. If you're playing by yourself, you don't have to listen to anybody. You just play whatever you want. And a lot of times you're playing by yourself. But if you do come to the jams and you play together, then you want to start listening for what other people are doing. The metronome, say on the keyboard, it's probably at 95, so it's a little fast, but if you get a metronome on your phone, it'll be similar to this, where you have the ding is the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no matter what pattern we use, we can stay on task because we know that ding is the 1. So that's an example. But you can just tap your foot. Like I said, those are free apps. You can get it for your phone. It's free. So now Mike will take us through C.
Okay, the C chord is kind of a stretching chord. A lot of people have trouble with this chord. So adjust your thumb any way that your thumb feels comfortable. You may see it in a book where it's behind. And if that gives you the most strength and the most stretch, then do it. I always like doing it with the cradle with my hand. And it helps me with transitioning chords. It's just something that I've learned through time. So we're going to do it the open.
I'm going to close the door.
Okay.
I just realized that I'm showing everybody my bathroom.
Okay. That's Dan's bathroom. In case anybody was watching.
I do keep it clean. So,
so we'll start off with C and we'll do it 1 and then hold it for 2, 3, 4, let it resonate. And then we'll do it the half notes and then we'll do quarter notes. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now we're going to go to quarter notes. And we're going to do
half notes.
Half notes, 1,
1 and 3.
1 and 3, yeah, 1 and 3, I'm sorry. 1 and 3 half notes. So it's 1, then hold, then 2, then 3, hold for 4. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now we're going to do quarter notes. That's a note for every measure, for 4 measures. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So, as you saw, I missed the second note of the first measure, and Dan picked me up, and I just kept on rocking.
Just kept going. And that's, you still want to stop in the middle. You don't want to get stressed. We did have somebody in the lesson yesterday that was so frustrated, spent the whole time trying to get the C, and you just have to move beyond it. If you can get the G, but you can't figure the C, just wait for the next, if you're transitioning, just wait for the next G chord.
And we've been playing for a long time, and we still make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. What we've learned to do is play past the mistakes. Don't sit there and fester on your mistakes, because then you're going to start concentrating more on the mistake than what the note is. So just, okay, you made a mistake, just keep going and just follow everybody.
And see, it might be easier to learn that behavior with the guitar because it's something you really want to do, but you can apply it to your life too. So there's no reason to get stuck on these trigger points that you have in life. You know, you have something that happens to you and you're frustrated because I allowed myself to do this, or I allowed myself to think this or to say this. And you might spend, for me sometimes, it might ruin my whole day. I mean, I'm spending the whole day and my blood pressure keeps rising and rising and rising and rising because I'm trying to, at first I'm just frustrated I did it, and then I spend the rest of the day trying to figure out why I did it and how I could have done it different. I can't change it. And at the end of the day, I've affected my wife, my kids, everything. So, just like with guitar, because it's something you want to learn, you can apply that to your life for the struggles that we all have. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the military, when you're walking in formation, you trip and you fall down, you're not going to just sit there and lay down while everybody just takes off. You're going to get back up into formation and just keep walking. So in guitar, you fall down, you get back in formation, and keep going.
That's right. Right. So it's good. So we're going to do a D.
Okay.
Take a minute to be able to find that. People have a hard time with this one. All right. So we're just strumming the bottom four strings. Bottom four strings. I'm sure if you hit other strings, it's okay, but try to make sure you stay on the bottom four strings. Ready? Hold up. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Half notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, stop. Quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now sometimes I always want to jump ahead, and we're only doing down strums. We're not doing up strums, and we're not talking about accenting or anything like that. But I always try to. Sometimes I want to jump in and say more stuff than I should.
Yeah.
Like somebody once told me, only teach one concept every time you teach. But oftentimes we want to jump in with 5 or 6. Like, oh, they're doing good, so I'm going to add this. And a lot of times when we add more, they get confused.
Yeah.
And right now I'm trying to talk myself out of it. So, because you can accent your strums, like some are strong, some are weak, but today is not the day to talk about it. So I almost went there, so I sort of had to talk to Mike a little bit so I could distract my brain. Otherwise, I was going to add in things to confuse you. So we don't want to do that. But again, if we say something confusing, just let us know, and then we'll make it better on the next video. All right, so we've gone through all of the chords that you know. Now we're going to go back and transition. We're going to do whole note measures, half note measures, and quarter note measures, just like we just did, but every other measure is a new chord. So we're going to go from E minor to A suspend 2. Every measure is a different one. So the best way to do it, even though you want to get to a point where you're switching almost just prior to or just as you're changing your chord, that's a goal. And almost nobody can do that right off the bat. So, like we talked about in class, on beat 4. Beat 4 is where you're going to switch your chords. So you strum on 1, you got 2, 3, and on 4 you switch to the new chord. So on 1, you're ready to strum again. So we'll start at E minor with whole notes, every other measure. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? Very seamless. That one should be easy because you're just moving both your fingers down one stroke. Now we're going to go to half notes. Still, beat 4 is when we change. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. Sorry, let me try again. I was still on whole notes.
Okay.
That's my fault. I shouldn't have stopped, but okay. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that we did 6, right? 6 measures that time? Okay. That's the idea. So on beat 4, okay, now we're going to do quarter notes. The same is true. Every note gets a beat, but on beat 4, we're changing strings. Well, how do we do that? If you remember in class, we talked about open strumming. Open strumming is no fingers on the strings. Right? You still have to strum. You still have to strum on beat 4, but you're moving your fingers to the new chord. Right? So it would be like 3, 4, 1. Right? So 3, 4, 1. And it sounds okay, right? it actually almost gives it sort of a, like it feels like you're doing it on purpose. It gives a little color to it. And every band you listen to, they do the same thing. Just that they get quicker. They cut it shorter to the downbeat of the next chord. But even when you don't, even if you always do it like that, it just gives a little extra color to it. Yeah, it's okay. So that's what we're going to do. On beat 4, we switch. It's an open strum. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's it. So you want to do the same thing between G and C.
Between G and C, okay. Now this is a difficult transition, so we're going to still do the pause between the 4th and the 1. When transitioning, we're going to have the open, but make sure that you practice in your brain switching it back and forth, because it's a completely opposite configuration of your fingers. So we're going to try it first with open, where we do 1 beat for 4 measures, and then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do that, and then we're going to do the half measures and the full measures, or then the quarter measures. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're going to go to half measures. So same thing, we're going to do 1 and 3. And then when you're going to the 4th, you want to switch to the C. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now with the quarter notes, we're going to play 3 of the G, leave it open, then go to the C. And we'll do it slow because it's a transition for you. So just follow along, and you can rewind it, try it again. Practice makes perfect. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep. See, so that's simple. Right? So last one, now the timer just went off, so we hit the 20-minute mark, but we just got 2 minutes left, and we'll have done all the things that we're supposed to do. So we're going from G to D, same thing, whole note. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, stop. Half notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Okay, so that's transitioning all the chords we have. Now, what you might want to do, we're at 24 minutes, 6 seconds on the total recording. We're probably at 23 minutes or 22 and a half minutes of the practice time that we set for 20 minutes. So we've only gone over a couple minutes. And we did some talking and stuff, but if you practice with us, that's a good 20. If you block off 25 minutes, that's your time. Now, what you can do as you're going out, you can float. Maybe do a measure, do the same thing for yourself. You can do a measure G, then C, you go to D, maybe E, A, suspend 2, back to G. So that's the only other thing that you can do is just practice. Let's do a couple of those.
Okay.
I'll call out them, and then the next time you call out them, and we'll just follow them. Ready? 1, 2 starting in G. Ready, go. G, C, D, E minor, A suspend 2, back to G. Now we're just doing whole note measures. And I think that's where you need to start. Start with whole note measures, but once that becomes fluid, then you can go to half note measures and quarter measures. And once you're doing that, you can play any song. You got it. You lead it, you tell me the chords.
Okay. We start off with a C. Okay. C, D.
Okay.
I'm going to say it first and then.
Yeah, you got to say it a beat before.
Oh, we'll start with C.
Okay.
Okay. C, D, G, A suspended, E minor, and then back to G.
That's it. And that's our practice hour 4.